Right now, we are live recording, it looks like, and we will get started at this point. So thank you all very much for joining us. For those of you who I have not met in person, my name is Greg Boike, and I'm fortunate to be serving the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association this biennium as our director for the Local Alumni Associations. And as you are all familiar, this is our first chat that we're having of the year, and wanted to provide an update on a constitutional change that was discussed over the summer and then voted on and approved with an online vote of the membership about a month or a month and a half ago at this point, and wanted to give you all an update on that and talk about the implementation process. So as you all may know, the rule that we're discussing is a new provision in the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association's Constitution that requires that brothers who are members of a local alumni association also be members of the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association. So the way that it is today is that your local alumni association creates your membership roster. The only restriction for your official membership roster is that that roster must contain brothers who are in good standing with the fraternity. So they are either an alumni member, be they a member of the Alumni Association or not, they were in good standing when they left their university, and so they are eligible for membership in your LAA, as well as being eligible for membership in the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association. By extension, that also includes any honorary and life members as well there too. Any friends or family who are not brothers obviously are not members of your local alumni association, but your LAA is able to set any policies that you so determine in regards to inviting them to come along to social events, and you can take money from anybody that you want to. There is never any restriction on how you can fundraise. The change that would be going into effect is one that says that folks on your roster, the brothers who make up your local alumni association's voting active membership, also need to be members of the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association. So to answer the first question is the why question. Why this change? This is definitely something that we at the Alumni Association Board thought through over really the past 2 years. And it involved taking a lot of input and recommendations from a variety of folks throughout the fraternity, including on our board, including with the Board of Trustees as well. And they were the ones who really encouraged us to move forward with bringing this constitutional change to the full membership for a vote and an amendment to our Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association Constitution. The first reason for the change is that this is really how most organizations that are structured with both national and local levels do it. Members are members at the national level, and by virtue of that, they have the opportunity or sometimes are required to also be members at the local level. There were very few organizations in our research, if any, that we could find that actually had the inverse to be true, where you could be a member at the local level with not being a member at the national level. I know for me professionally, I'm a member of the Georgia Planning Association, but as part of that, I'm also required to be a member of the American Planning Association. I can't do one without the other, and vice versa. So that is one basis for us looking at this decision. Secondly, and it comes out of a very good place in that our alumni are becoming increasingly active and visible, and our alumni participation is growing. With that, we do have to start thinking about the potential liability that can be incurred upon the fraternity. And fortunately, the fraternity itself has liability policies and insurance that cover the work that you do on behalf of and in the name of Kappa Kappa Psi through your local alumni associations. The more visible that you become and the more good work you become, the more that it becomes an important factor for us to make sure that y'all are covered under that umbrella and that we all are participating under that umbrella. Because as I've had lawyer friends tell me, if anything ever goes wrong with the fraternity, as things unfortunately have sometimes in the past, very rarely are they going to sue your local alumni association. They're going to sue Kappa Kappa Psi as an incorporated fraternity. So that's one reason why we're looking at this as well. And then finally, it's something that our sisters in Tau Beta Sigma have already been doing over the past 2 years. And so this would allow us to be more in line with what they're doing as well. So that's the rationale to get us briefly to where we are today. We sent out information in our pre-NatCon newsletters throughout our listserv and in the Encore monthly newsletter. Discussed this particular proposal at NatCon along with a number of other ones. Most of the ones we discussed at NatCon were added to the Constitution and approved. This one was tabled for some additional discussion. And particularly one of the points that came out of that discussion is the ability to have membership at an LAA only tier. And this is something that the new Alumni Association board that came in at NatCon felt strongly should be in place, again, to match what our sisters in TBS have already been doing, and have done so with a degree of good success, I would say, as well, too, which is by having a $15 LAA only tier. So with that amendment, if you will, to the motion requiring membership, that vote went to an online vote of the KKSI Alumni Association membership around late September and passed with 77% of the vote in favor. So what does this mean now? Starting on January 1, so that's our new membership year, the renewal timeline for that will start about later this month. Folks who are either renewing or joining for the first time will have an option for a $15 LAA only membership level. What this does is that it gives somebody any privileges or rights that may be associated with membership in your LAA, the ability to participate in the LAA, to vote in your LAA's activities, or anything else that you so determine they have a right or ability to do through their LAA membership. It does not grant them full membership in the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association, more of a provisional type of membership, in that it does not provide a vote on Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association elections, constitutional revisions. Folks would not be able to serve on our committees, and it would not entail attendance at a convention as one of the eligible privileges as well either. So folks would still have the option to join for the full $50 annual full membership, which would give all those opportunities, as well as pursuing life membership. Life membership still is a $0 membership in the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association. So if you're a life member, absolutely nothing changes under this. You just have to make sure that you keep updating your contact info with us so we know how to get in touch with you. So that is an overview of what would happen starting around January 1. Now, as you all know, your next LAA reports are due on June 1. So that will occur much later in the upcoming year. And that's when our next check of rosters is going to occur. So basically everything from January 1 to June 1 is the transition period. I'm not going to be checking rosters after January 1 to see if everybody is membership in the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association or not. That actually will go into effect on June 1, where we're going to make sure that your roster matches up with our roster. Through that time, we'll want to make sure that we're working with the LAAs the best we can to help share information, to help make sure that folks are aware of it. We'll be providing some written materials, and we'll want your input on specifically what you're looking for and what will help you communicate that to your LAA membership as well too. So that will give us an opportunity to make sure that folks are all aware of this before the change actually goes into effect and we do the formal roster check. So with that, I think that wraps up my sort of introduction overview of what the change is. Do appreciate your all's willingness to sit through my prologue of an introduction here.